2 hours and 23 minutes per day. That is the average screen time of people between 16 and 25. So if you're aged between 16 and 25 and your screen time on social media is between 2 hours and 3 hours a day, you're on track to, let's say you live to 70 years old, you're on track to waste 40,040 hours of your life consuming content on your phone, on Instagram, on TikTok, Snapchat. 40,000 hours. The reason I'm making this video is because I didn't actually realize it was that high. And 2 hours and 23 minutes a day is the average amount of time. So there's some people, you may be one of these people, who are spending 3, 4, 5 hours a day. That's kind of like where I was. I was probably spending like 3 hours a day back when I used to use social media. And there's some people who are spending less time than that, but on average it's 2 hours, 23 minutes a day. So why am I making this video? Why am I talking about this subject? Well, it's to just help you to get off social media. I'm going to run through step by step in this video what I did to quit social media and then stay off it, more importantly. So if you've not seen this channel before, if you've never seen me talk about this before, this is kind of like my biggest achievement, I'd say, on self-improvement is I have been able to stay off social media for over 500 and I think it's like 40 days now. It was July of 2023, I believe it was, that I quit social media. So I fully deleted all social apps from my phone, deleted YouTube from my phone, Snapchat, Instagram, not really TikTok. I was never really a big fan of TikTok, but all the social media apps that I was spending most of my time in the day on, doom scrolling, and every time I go for a shit, every time I'd be trying to work and focus and be productive, every time I'd be, even when I was with my family having conversations, I would be on my phone scrolling. And yeah, I managed to delete all those apps and I haven't re-downloaded them and I haven't doom scrolled and I haven't been addicted to social media. I haven't used social media for over a year and a half. And that's a huge achievement of mine that I'm really proud of. And it's by far the best thing I've ever done in my life. I'm going to be totally honest. The best decision I've ever made in my life was deleting social media. It's led me to have so many more new and better experiences, have such better relationships with my family, with my friends, be so much more productive and motivated as well on this business, this YouTube channel, and some of the things that I've got on the side. So much more productive, and I just want you to get to that point as well. So yeah, if you don't know who I am, I'm Joe. I'm a very small YouTuber. I've been on self-improvement for 4 years now and been able to stay off social media for 1.5 years. So hopefully by the end of this video, I can get you to a similar point, or at least in a similar mindset to where I was, that led me to be able to delete social media. And more importantly than just deleting it, because everyone knows how to delete social media, right? You hold it down and then you press delete. More importantly, to actually stay off of it. So how are we going to save you 40,040 hours for the rest of your life? Well, the first thing that we need to think about is a mindset shift. So the most important mindset that I have ever learned that has led me to be so productive, so motivated, and just feel so positive about the future, what is that mindset? Is to go from a consumer, so someone who consumes content, consumes media virtually or physically, and go from a consumer to a producer, so someone who produces the stuff that people consume. And it's making that transition from the kind of peasant-minded consumer to the producer. So think of like back in medieval times, you had peasants and common people who consumed produce, and then you had the rich landowners and farmers who actually produced that. It's kind of translated up and it has an even bigger wealth disparity nowadays. The people who produce the content and make the content, or produce products or produce services, have businesses, they're the ones who make all the money. They're the ones who have financial freedom, time freedom. And if you're kind of watching this video, you clicked on this video, then you probably are interested in those things as well, right? You probably want to have financial freedom. You probably want to go traveling. You've probably got some really big plans. You're very ambitious, and you wouldn't be clicking on this video otherwise if you didn't want to save 40,040 hours, because most people, if you said, oh, I could click my fingers and save you 40,040 hours, most people would be like, well, I would rather spend that 40,040 hours just scrolling through social media, because that's my chill time. I enjoy being on social media. I enjoy watching content and consuming content. A lot of people do enjoy it, but if you're anything like me, then you're aware that social media and the constant consumption of content is a problem. You're acutely aware that that is an issue and it's getting in the way of you progressing in business, in fitness, in motivation and productivity and stuff like that, or being consistent. So that is the first mindset shift that we need to install into your brain. Is we're going to go from a consumer to a producer. I learned this in a book called The Millionaire Fastlane. I would highly recommend you go read that book, but it's basically the fundamental mindset of everything entrepreneurial. So every other mindset that branches off of being entrepreneurial, when you kind of go down philosophically down into the very bottom layer of that, it's just people going from consumer to producer. They are producing the service, they are providing the value rather than consuming or paying for the value. So you've installed that mindset into your head. Once I had this mindset, this is where the wheels started to set in motion of me realizing like, yeah, I guess if I want to be a producer, I need to stop consuming, right? And how much stuff am I consuming? Well, I watch YouTube videos, self-improvement YouTube videos. Okay, that's some consumption, but that's kind of different, right? I'm educating myself. I'm trying to inspire myself, motivate myself. So I can still watch the self-improvement kind of content, educational stuff. That's kind of okay. What other stuff am I doing? Well, I'm spending 3 hours a day scrolling through Instagram. For me, the biggest problem was Instagram. I just used to spend so many random portions of my day scrolling and just like you have that feeling where and I remember this feeling so accurately, where you literally automatically pull your phone out and you kind of open it up. And you've probably had this recently where you press on an app like Instagram, and as soon as it loads up in front of you, you're like, oh, it's kind of boring, right? You close the app immediately. Like you don't really know why you just open the app, because you're kind of bored. So you open it, you see some content in front of you, and then you close the app immediately. And then you're looking for other stuff to do on your phone, and you actually end up pressing on Instagram again. And it's that feeling of like, and you realize as soon as it opens, you're like, oh, I've just been on here. And you kind of have to second guess, like, I've just clicked off of Instagram and I've gone back on it. That is your brain going into autopilot because you're so addicted to consuming content that your brain is just naturally pressing on the buttons of the apps. And as soon as you can catch yourself and notice that you're doing this, that is a sign that you probably have a problem with social media. And that's what happened to me. I was just flittering between apps throughout the day whenever I was bored, and I would go back onto them even after closing them instantly, and I would go straight back onto them again. And that was a sign to me that, okay, if I want to do this whole YouTube thing, if I want to do this whole producer thing, I need to stop doing that. And so once you can get into that same mindset that I'm in, you can actually pick out the habits and the things that you do that are keeping you locked in that cycle of social media. This is going to lead you closer to that point where you can delete it. And now, what is the main thing that you need to do, right? And you've probably guessed it. It is to delete the social media apps. And I don't mean do the pussy version of this, which is to put a screen app monitor on your phone, right? Where it says, it comes up with a little pop-up. You've been on social media for an hour now. You should maybe consider stopping this, and you can just press ignore and then carry on scrolling, right? I'm not talking about doing that. And I'm not talking about doing the bitch version of this, which is where you just hold down the app and you press take it off the home screen. So like, it's not on your home screen, but if you go into the apps at the top of your phone, you can search for Instagram and then it will come up. No. I mean, press delete app, and then it's going to say, are you sure you want to delete the app? Because it's going to delete all your data on the app as well. The algorithm's going to have to relearn what you like, what you love to consume, and the content you like. Yes, delete the app. You are not going to use this app anymore. Now, let me just put a disclaimer in here. If you're watching this video as someone who you don't actually give a fuck about being a productive person or having kind of any extraordinary experiences, you don't have a business that you want to set up, you don't want to be like financially free or be location free, you're not like one of these ambitious people like what I am, or trying to target other people like me who think there's more to life than just working the 9 to 5 and working for someone else, and you're actually quite happy to have that chill, cuddly time where you like to be on social media and stuff, fine. Just click off the video, because it's not going to help you, okay? And you're going to take this advice, well, you're not going to take my advice, and you're just going to say, okay, yeah, I'll delete social media later on, but let's just hear what he has to say afterwards. No, this is the main bit of advice for the video. Like, it is just delete the social media apps and get into that mindset where you realize you need to go from a consumer to a producer, and that is going to help you to at least justify to your own brain why you're deleting the apps, because it's like, well, I don't want to consume anymore. I want to produce instead. But if you don't want to produce and you don't want to be like a YouTuber or have some kind of business or anything, you just don't care about that kind of stuff, right? Then this video is not going to be for you. It's not going to help you. So Now that those people have gone, I can go on to the next step, which is once you've actually deleted the apps off of your phone, you've deleted the app data off of your phone as well. So there's none of them apps on your phone anymore. Now we need to replace the void that has been created in our schedule. So now you're gonna have a lot more free time. Remember, this is 2 hours and 23 minutes a day that you've just freed up. This is potentially 40,000 hours of your life that you've just freed up. What are you going to do with them 40,000 hours? Because I guarantee you within the first 3, 4, 5 of them 40,000 hours, your brain is going to start convincing you to re-download social media. And maybe you've done the bitch move and you've just taken the apps off of your home screen, but you can always go and find them again. And you're going to try and convince yourself like, yeah, I've deleted social media. You go tell all your boys, yeah, I've deleted social media, guys. I'm not really about that anymore. I'm just going to go off grid. But deep down in your mind, you know that you've still got the apps on your phone. You just need to search for them now instead of just seeing them pop up. So you can kind of show your boys your phone, right? Like, yeah, look, I've got no apps on my phone, but you can actually still go find them. If you've done that, just pause this video and please take my advice. Deleting social media was the best thing I've ever done, ever, right? And I've been on self-improvement for 4 years. I've been addicted to social media, and getting rid of it was the one thing that I've done that has had a lasting and continues to have a huge impact on the trajectory of my life. I'll give you a little story real quick. I have recently quit my job that I've been at for 4 years, okay? This job pays me £33,000 a year as a 23-year-old. That's a pretty good wage to be on. If you're from the UK, you'll know that that's actually like a very good amount of money to be on. I've quit that job and I'm moving to Thailand to work solely on business and content production, being a producer. I would not have made that decision if I was still on social media. 100,000% I would not have made that decision. So just understand, it's so important that you delete social media. I just wanted to put that in there because I know there's going to be still a few people watching this or got this far into the video who are still like, yeah, I'll delete social media after I see what he says next type of thing. And although, you know, you've just moved it off of your home screen so you can still find the apps. I'm just telling those people, listen, just pause the video because I want you to get value from what I'm saying here. And you're not going to get value if you just don't listen to what I say. You need to have some trust in me here because I am someone who hasn't touched social media for 1.5 years and most people cannot do that. So I do have some credibility when it comes to this. So please take my advice. And then what's the next thing? So we need to replace your void that you have with your additional time that you're no longer spending doom scrolling or going through social media so that we don't reinstall or go back to social media. Now that you've fully deleted it, you're going to be very tempted to go back onto it because you don't really have anything going on in your life, right? You're pretty bored. You don't have anything that is aligning and anchoring your focus. You have now this newfound focus and time and energy, okay? Scrolling social media takes a bunch of energy, it takes a bunch of focus, it takes a bunch of brain points, and now you have additional time, you have this additional focus. You're like, unlock this superpower. Your brain can start being used to think again rather than just being a vessel for which to consume content. Your brain can be used for what it's designed to be used for, which is to create, which is to think and to innovate. So you have this extra time. You need to now anchor your brain and to use this time to direct it towards a project, direct it towards something that is meaningful and purposeful to you. So what would I recommend to do? I would recommend to have a goal in mind, and if that isn't something like content creation or YouTube or a business, it should be fitness. So there are your two options, or you can do both. It's I am going to focus on the gym and get better and better and better at the gym and build an incredible physique, or I'm going to build up a YouTube channel or some kind of social media thing or some business, right? Whatever business it is you're working on. Again, if you're watching my kind of content, you're probably wanting to do something like that, right? Have an online business and work towards that. So they're the two options, or you can do both like what I'm doing, but you need a goal. You need a goal which is going to orient your thoughts and your focus. Now that you have this extra time, imagine what you can do with 40,040 hours extra on your life. You could build a multi-million-dollar business with 40,000 hours. So with that, use this extra time that you have to work towards that business. Learn everything that you can about it. Start creating that content. Start becoming a producer and stop being a consumer. I've got a ton of videos on this channel to help you to discover what business you need to start that's going to be best for you. And yeah, that is pretty much it. If you want to learn some more in-depth kind of, this is quite a quick video, right? But if you want some more in-depth analysis on how to quit social media and to stay off of it, you know, what to say to your friends and things like that, like how do you keep in touch with your family and your friends, and you want to have a bit more of like an overall experience that just really is going to guide you and hold your hand through the quitting social media experience like I've had, then go check the top link in the description. It's a totally free community with a paid course in there that you can go check out. And yeah, please leave me any feedback on this video if you do have any. I'm always trying to improve the content on here. Thank you so much for watching, mate, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.